about me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Hey, what's good, man? This is EC Pinchot Podcast, which one and only host, Glory. Boy, back again with another special interview here at Salud Market, right? Located in Buffalo, New York. And so if you haven't done so, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification button because, videos like this, interviews like this will always be coming right now. So I'm going to just let her introduce herself and we could start this interview.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marielyn Santiago Miller, but the community knows me as Mari. I and myself and my husband, we are the proud owners of Salud Market, located at 1832 Main Street, right on the corner of Main and Delavan. We have a healthy food market, as you can see we're in. Here we sell fresh juices, fresh pressed juices, smoothies, salads, sea moss, wraps, bean soup, all things healthy. This is where good health goes well with your soul.
Yeah, I heard it. And you can see, I got me myself a little, a little green drink. Really good for your health, got some ginger and lemon and so on. So, yeah, so come through. Everything is available. So let's start with the interview, though. Before this, though, where you originally from?
So I was born in Puerto Rico, raised in the Bronx, lived in the Bronx all my life. I came up to Buffalo to go to school. Buff State, stand up, go Bengals. I did come to Buff State back in the early 2000s to study education. And then after I completed my undergrad degree, I went back home, came back, earned a master's degree. After the master's degree, we were in a recession. So I then returned back to New York City, and then I returned back to Buffalo. So I've been in Buffalo for a solid 13 years.
Damn, so you been all over, like Buffalo, New York.
Yes.
I kind of always want to ask this question: why do New York people, before we even move to the serious questions, why do New Yorkers come here to school and then talk bad about Buffalo?
That is a great question. I have to tell you, I was one of those people, briefly, I was one of those people. It's that whole pride thing, right? So you take where you're from and you wear it on your back type of thing. But as you mature and you grow, you learn that it's not where you're from, it's where you're at. And wherever you are, you have to respect where you are. You have to respect the people. You have to respect the community. Still bring your piece of where you're from, your community, where you're from, but still show respect where you're currently at.
Definitely. That's true. And like you said, the pride thing is like the New York City people just think Buffalo is not in New York. Like, oh, you guys can't call yourselves New Yorkers because, you're not from New York City. You guys are from Buffalo. And
It's not. It's a sense of ignorance. It's just a sense of lack of knowledge. That's all it really is. Because if you think about it, technically it's the same state. It's just a different city. That's really all it is. Technically, most New Yorkers, although the city of Buffalo is a city, this feels like suburban living to us. So it's something different.
Okay.
You do have to be ready for this lifestyle coming from New York City. I personally was ready for it. After a short while of just being introduced to this lifestyle, I honestly fell in love with it. It was something different. I was outgrowing New York City. It came down to, times that I had to go home for break. I would go home for like a few days and rush back up to Buffalo just because.
It was so comfortable.
Yeah, Buffalo was definitely a peace of mind for me.
Peace of mind.
So you have to just be ready for this place.
Gotta be ready, man. And so now let's go into some serious question. The reason why we're here is basically to get to the bottom of why and how did all this start, so Salud Market, what made you want to start this market? Basically, as you can see in the back, it said nourish to flourish, good mood and good health and so on. What made you start this type of market? Because there's not a lot of this type of market that has great source of foods for your health in Buffalo, New York. And you could tell us.
So ultimately, being a native from New York City, you see these type of places all over in New York. You see them all throughout the Bronx and things like that. So that's really one of the, that's just one of the few reasons that myself and my husband decided to open up this place. I just wanted to bring a little bit of the Bronx and New York City to Buffalo. But the most important reason why we chose to take this route was because I just got tired of seeing garbage in our community, honestly. I got tired of seeing the chicken wings and the pizza and the burgers and the fried chicken and the hot dogs with the gravy on top and the this and the, I just got tired of it. And you know, there were times where my husband and I would drive around and I would crave for something fresh and nutritious, and it was very difficult to find. So this has been sort of like a passion for me, to bring something healthy to the community. And that's really the gist of it. That's really the main reason. I just wanted to bring something healthy to the community.
Right. And you saying that growing up, like within your household, was your parents like more onto like healthy foods and so on? Because now today you could see like some parents really, for example, they will go out and the only food they will bring their kid would be like McDonald's. You know, so like how was that like for you back then? Like was your parents like very strict on what you have to eat within the household?
Well, growing up in the Bronx, I was raised by an old school Puerto Rican grandmother who cooked just about every single day. We did not eat takeout often. Right. Maybe once a month we would have Chinese food. But for the most part, it was definitely home cooked meals. Right. It was definitely, you know, some type of rice, some type of bean. And then along with some meat, right? Some steak or some chicken, things food. Like that. Some good home cooked meals. Right. That's really what it was. We did not eat out often, and my grandmother was just particular about, you know, just feeding us some good homegrown and home cooked meals. She was very particular about that.
And was she tripping when you guys can't finish like your plate? Like
absolutely, we had to finish our food. In a way, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing as well. Right. A funny story: my grandmother, typical of her to force us to finish a plate. My youngest sister she hardly ever finished her food, but there was this one time where my youngest sister had so much pressure from my grandmother to finish her food, where she was throwing the rice out of the window. And we lived on the 7th floor, and the rice was trickling down to the neighbor's windowsill. And so the neighbor came upstairs with the rice in his hand to show my grandmother what someone in her house was doing. And we got in a ton of trouble, but that's how strict she was when it came to finishing your food.
That is crazy because I've actually kind of witnessed it in my house too. My little siblings, when they're given like certain food and they don't like it, they will go behind, like wait for everyone to just like lose focus on them, and then they would just go behind everyone, just throw the food in the garbage. Yes. And I'm like, what? like it's crazy because, and I understand it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, like forcing someone to eat, right? You know, but other than that, yeah. So let's move to the next question. Let's look into Salud. When did you exactly came up with the idea? Like, you know what? I want to start Salud. Like the exact time and place. Like, did you think about it in New York City or did you think about it in Buffalo?
So Salud Market was actually born in my mind in 2014.
Okay.
In 2014, I presented the idea to my husband, and he thought it was a great idea. Every time we would go home to my hometown, to the Bronx, and visit family, we would go to different juice bars. We would go to different healthy eateries and things like that that were located in low-income neighborhoods, right. And just to kind of inspire us. And we would take ideas from different places and things like that. So from 2014 to 2022, which is when we actually established ourselves, that is pretty much how long it took for us to kind of like build what we wanted. But obviously because of the pandemic, right? So we were in a pandemic in 2022 and 2021. That kind of put the fire under us and forced us to move even faster. So we are somewhat grateful for the pandemic because it brought out a beast in us, and it forced us to kind of bring that baby to life that we've been trying to work on since 2014.
Right, and also with Salud, what does Salud? Salud, what does
So
Salud?
Salud, you don't say the D. The D is silent.
Oh,
so it's
Salud.
just Salud. Just
Okay.
Salud. So Salud pertains to health.
Okay.
Some people will say Salud when they're like toasting with some wine or with some liquor or something like that. And that just means good health, right? So they would toast to Salud. Some people will refer to Salud when someone sneezes around them, right? So bless you. God bless you or something like that.
Right.
But ultimately, it pertains to health. Salud is health.
Good health.
Good health, yep. So
Right.
we decided to go with Salud Market.
Wow.
Healthy
That's-
market, that's all it is in Spanish.
That's legit. I mean, plus it kind of relates to your background. You know, your background plus you put the market kind of relates to the American people. You know, the just different language, just a mixture of it. And so you keep mentioning your husband. So let's bring him into this conversation as well. Like, what's the best thing about you and him just working together?
I like to say that we are a dynamic duo. My husband is a man of very little words. If you ever meet him, he won't say much until you present a topic that he feels comfortable speaking on. Right. But for the most part, he's a man of very little words. So when he does speak, there's meaning behind it. Right. But we are a great team, I have to say. I am the more people person. I am what some people call the mouthpiece of Salud Market in terms of promoting us and in terms of just being a more personable person. He's personable, but he's just very reserved at the same time. So, but we are a great duo, I have to say.
That's amazing. And how long y'all been married?
We've been married 10 years, and we've been together 13 years.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, that's goals. That's
Thank
goals. Because, I mean, as you can see, like, in today's generation, you can't really see, like, a lot of, like, those long-lasting and very much partnership within, like a marriage. And you guys have just this one business, or you guys have other businesses going on for yourselves?
We do have another business as well. My husband has a wholesale and liquidation business. So he buys wholesale items by the truckloads, and he liquidates them. So we have a warehouse right here in Buffalo as well, right on Ferry Street, and it's called Juggernaut Elite. You can find it on Facebook. We have a private group where we sell a ton of things from patio furniture to mattresses and clothes and toys and anything my husband can get his hands on. Everything is brand new. And it's just another business that we have.
She can come in, right?
Yes, she can definitely come in. It's fine.
All right. So we got some customers here, so that's why we're trying to speed up with the time. And with Salud, have you faced any kind of like difficult times like within your business? Because you know within business there's ups and downs, and you facing those difficult times, like how were you able to like overcome them?
So to be very transparent, you nailed it. You hit the nail right on the head. There are ups and downs in a business. Because of what we sell, particularly, right? We sell juices, we sell smoothies, we sell salads. Buffalo being the type of town that it is, this is a town where they love to eat and drink.
Right.
Right? So you have to be committed to this lifestyle that we support here at Salud Market. So the winter can be somewhat difficult to work with. The weather here in Buffalo, I've noticed, as you've noticed, when we were sitting here setting up, we had crowds coming in. We had, spurts of people coming in. The weather plays a major role in how business does.
That's true.
So because it snows here so much and because it's so gloomy, it affects people's moods. It's proven here at the business that when the sun is out, the people are out. So
the only thing that comes in between you and your business is the weather.
I'm going to say the weather. it's cold here 9 months out of the year, give or
Right.
take. So it definitely affects business.
And how about like how is customer service within your business? Like how do you handle customers and making sure that they're all well taken care of?
Oh, customer service is the priority here at Salud Market. There's a running joke with my staff where the customers come in and the first thing they ask is Madi here? And I think it's just because I spoil my customers. That's just the bottom line. I do, and I'm guilty of that. But I take pleasure in taking care of my customers.
Right. I mean, that's true. I mean, as the owner and so on, I mean, it plays a huge part towards your reputation as well.
Absolutely.
So reputation is huge. So now let's look at. We just talked about ups and downs, but what's the future plans with Salud? Like, are you planning to kind of like expand it, or are you planning to just stay here for a little bit longer in order to kind of like build up that clientele and then?
I think it's a great question, Glory. We do have plans to expand. However, we definitely want to plant our feet on solid ground before we decide to do that. We don't want to take on too much because this in itself is a lot of work.
Right.
This is our baby. This is a business baby here, so we have to nurture it before we decide to want to move on and expand. So we want to establish this to the best of our ability and be very, very solid in the location that we're in before we decide to expand. But those are our future plans to
That's your
expand.
future plans. And how do you see the future of Salud? Let's not talk about expanding, but like, how do you see like the future of it? Like, based on what you're presenting to the people, like, do you see the future of it kind of like going beyond and people like willing to kind of like involve themselves into more like healthier products or and so on? How do you see that?
So the future is to get more produce and to get more foot traffic. As you can see, we have some fresh produce behind us, but it's very limited. As you know, we're in Buffalo. Nothing grows in the cold. So we have to wait until the ground breaks. And, my husband goes out to a farm every year that's about an hour away. And we visit the farm twice a week and we bring back fresh produce. So we bring back yellow seeded watermelon. We bring back a plethora of beautiful different color peppers, onions, things that you really don't see at our local markets here. So in terms of future ideas, we would love to bring back more produce. We would love to have more produce. We would love to have more people coming in just to shop for produce, right? We have like the juices and the smoothies, which is great, but we want people to engage in more healthy eating. So like the fruits, the vegetables, the lettuce, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, with the weather of Buffalo, like it's crazy how like everything just dries out within winter, and then during summer or spring, everything starts coming back. And yeah, like with your business, I do see that actually like making that a little bit more difficulty. So now we just spoke more about your business. So now let's look at you as a mother and a businesswoman. Like, how do you kind of like manage those two? Like being a mother because you have kids at home, and we can see right now as well. Another angel is on the way.
Thank you.
So how do you kind of like balance everything out? Because with the business stress and so on.
It is not easy because, like I said, this is a business baby, and then I have physical babies, right? So I have a physical child that is 11 years old, as you know, Jade, and then I'm also expecting one as well. It is not easy, but it is doable. With the help of two parents that are involved, it is what is needed in a family dynamic. So I greatly appreciate my husband, even my mother-in-law, who helps out when she can, when she's able to. It's super. I show a lot of gratitude for that. But being a business owner and a mom, they go hand in hand sometimes, and it's just something that you have to do.
Right. And how do you kind of like? So when you go home, do your kids kind of like miss you so much? Like, do you get to have that time to spend with them? Because I know you're here right now, you're not with your kids, but like, kids always want either the father or the mother to be present. You at least get to have that time to spend with them and so on.
We do make the time, both my husband and I, we do make the time to spend, and we're very intentional about the time that we put into Jade right now, because she is our youngest. We're very intentional, and right now she's involved in softball, so we don't miss a practice, we don't miss a game. We even have her set up with a special trainer just because it's something that she loves. But yeah, we have to make the time, and if it means you have to sacrifice a little bit of sleep to make the time to spend with your children, that's what you have to do. It's just part of the game. It comes with the territory.
And that's the best thing about it. And so would that be the one thing that kind of like pushed you to start your own business? Because I mean, working for someone, you wouldn't be able to have that time to make it to your daughter's games, being able to lose that sleep and so on. So was that like the one thing that made you say like, you know what, I'm gonna start my own business? I'm not gonna be working for somebody else and so on. If you could tell us.
So honestly speaking, freedom is what I was looking for.
Okay.
When I decided to start my own business. Throughout the pandemic, there was just some things that I didn't agree with that the government was making us do, and I was not comfortable with it, and I decided to take another route and search for freedom. So freedom was really the reason that I decided to take this route, and my husband supported me.
Yeah, freedom is major. Freedom is major. Like, and so you working for someone in the past, what kind of obstacles did you face within those companies and so on that kind of also led to you starting your own business?
So to go back to the freedom part, honestly, everyone knows that when you work for corporate America, nonprofit, when you work for anyone, you have to watch what you say. You have to watch how you move. You have to almost be a people pleaser.
Right.
You sometimes even lose who you genuinely are when you're working for someone else, just to keep a job, right? Versus here, I make the rules. My rules are super easy. Show respect, common courtesy, serve the people good stuff, and that makes me happy.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's true. Freedom. And I kind of experienced this. I would say the same thing. Like, me personally, I don't like working for people like that. Right? I like to, like, time management as well. Like, I like to have that time in my schedule to say, like, okay, I'm going to do this today, I'm going to do this tomorrow, and so on. But if you're working for someone, it's like, oh, I got to go clock in. I have to be I have to be at work and so on. So that freedom really plays a huge part. So I can see the time is running. So let's now look into let me say future plans with your family and so on. Are you looking to move out of Buffalo to start like a brand? Because now that you're making good money with your business, are you looking to move out of Buffalo and kind of like have like a franchise somewhere else and then stay in another state because of the weather and so on?
This is a great question, and I have to tell you, no, I have no plans on moving out of Buffalo right now. However, I don't know what God has planned for me. I'm going to be very honest with you. In terms of a franchise, I am not interested in a franchise. I believe that when you decide to jump into those opportunities, you lose focus of what your goal is. And my goal is to provide a healthy option in my community, for my community, by my community. So I hire locals, right? Like right now I have a student from Canisius, which is located right across the street from us, who is very well versed with the community that we serve. That's important to me. Again, no franchise. I'm not interested in anything on that level. I just feel like there's a disconnect. A disconnect would be created if I decided to take that route.
Right. And that's true. Franchise come with a lot of personalities too. Like, you get to meet, for example, you don't know who's kind of like controlling your business in another city, how they're controlling it, what kind of image they're presenting for your business. So
that's right.
It really makes sense. So now that we're running out of time, let me just ask you one question. Like, what kind of message would you give to either future entrepreneurs or younger entrepreneurs and right now people who are doing business and trying to start their own business? Either it might be similar to your business or not, but like, what type of message would you kind of like give them?
A few things. One is, if it's a passion, go for it. But just make sure that it's a passion and it's not a trend or something you're trying to keep up with. But if it is a passion for you, go for it. It is going to be work. It's probably going to be the hardest thing that you will ever do in your life. But again, if it's a passion, you go for it. Make sure your finances are together before you jump into such a huge venture. Why? Because finances, you need it, right? So you need to make sure that that credit is together. You need to make sure that you have cushion money. You need to make sure that you have a team as well. I have to be very honest with you. If it wasn't for my husband, I don't know how we would even be standing, because he works a full-time job. He's been at his job over 20 years. And from his job, he comes here every day and helps out and picks up, where I fall short. So I'm going to say you can't do everything by yourself. I had to learn that the hard way. So build a team, build a solid team, build an all-star team, build a team with people that you can trust. That is super important. And I'm going to say the last thing is pray. Pray. Whoever your God is, whatever your God is, whatever you believe in, pray. Because between prayer and discipline, that is what's going to help you succeed.
I mean, y'all heard that, man. Y'all heard that. That's some great, great message, to be honest, because discipline is key and prayers is key too, because if you kind of like put them together, you become unstoppable.
Yes, right.
You become unstoppable because it kind of, with faith, it kind of give you the right direction to, it gives you like that, how you say, like tunnel vision. Like when you have faith, it's like your mind is just focused on that path.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So yeah, man. There we go. This is Salud Market.
Don't say the D, Glory.
I keep.
Salud.
Yo, there you have it, man. We are Salud Market, Buffalo, New York, located in
1832 Main Street, right on the corner of Main and Delavan, across the street from Canisius College.
All right, man. Y'all stop by. There's all the good stuff. I got me juice. Appreciate you for having me here.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, because this is helping me, and as well, it will help you too, as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, and appreciate y'all. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification button as well. And we out of here, man. Let's go.